Welcome to the Pistons Fanatic. I'm your host, Dave Dalton, and I'm excited to share my passion and perspective of our Detroit Pistons as we go on this fantastic voyage together. I've been a diehard Piston fan since the days of Dave Bing and Bob Lanier and Chauncey Billups. I've also been a varsity basketball coach of a very successful program in northern Michigan. I want to thank you for listening. Please subscribe and like. When you subscribe and like, it's just a click of the button and it helps generate more looks for my videos. So it really helps me out if you just can click those two things, and I really appreciate it. But we won again, 118 to 115 over the Portland Trailblazers. We're 18-18. We're 500, guys, and this is exciting. We were down by 22 tonight, and we came out flat, and we've seen it happen over the last, we're on this roll and we've been playing really well, but who do we play bad against? The Jazz. We lost to the Jazz before we went out west, and they're, had won like 5 games going into that, and then we barely beat the Hornets, got behind the Hornets, and they were missing their best players, and we played a lackluster game and barely won that game. And then, like I said, tonight we were down by 22 to the Blazers, and it's just it's human nature. Michael Jackson had a song called Human Nature, but it's just it's not easy to say, you got to get fired up for everybody, but it's just you can't not be more fired up for a team that you're playing that is really good than a team that is not very good. So, but we've been so bad for so long, you would think that we would never, after winning 14 games last year, that we would get up for every team. So anyway, can't complain though. One thing that if I were a Blazers fan, we complain here, when we see a big discrepancy in free throw shooting. But tonight's game, we shot 45%, they shot 53%. On threes, we shot 35, they shot 46%. But we made 19 out of 22 free throws. They made 3 out of 5. And that was the game. And 2 of our 3 misses were Beasley at the end of the game when we desperately needed him to make. Twice he went to the line. They intentionally fouled with like 30 seconds left, and then with 11 seconds left, and he could have put us up by 4, and he made one and missed one twice. So, and it's a funny game how things go. And Beasley's a gunner, and he's going to shoot it all the time. So tonight, 0 for 9. He couldn't make a shot. He just kept gunning. He wasn't even close on a lot of the shots. 53 seconds left, tight ball game. He drains a wide open 3, and it was a huge bucket for us. So, yeah. And then at the end of the game, he missed those two free throws that were crucial that could have cost us the game. And Anthony Simons, who was on fire during the game, he scored like 36 points, and he made a whole bunch of threes. He made almost every 3, like 10 for 15 on threes. But he stripped him from the ball right at the very end. Beasley stole the ball from him, so that was a huge defensive play. So anyway, the Pistons are since December 7th, we are 9-3, which is 3rd best record in the NBA in both conferences. Oklahoma City's first best record, and then the Cavs are the 2nd best record, and we're the 3rd best record. So that's something to be excited about. And we're rolling, and we got, we're playing without Ivy still. And then tonight, brokenhearted, Asar didn't play. So that was, he played so great the last game, but he has an illness. So that was unfortunate. But tonight we're playing the Blazers, and we honored Chauncey Billups, one of my heroes. He was so amazing as a leader and as a player, and just everything about him. And he loves Detroit. Right behind me here, there's a autographed jersey, my autographed Chauncey Billups jersey. Here's a little guy, Chauncey Billups. I have a bobblehead somewhere, but he was terrific to watch, and I feel bad for him in his coaching career. They kind of got a funky team. Ayton doesn't play really good. I love Shaden Sharp, who played for them. He had 20 tonight and 8 rebounds and 8 assists. And Simons is a good player. I don't know what they're going to trade, but they kind of need to go into the tank mode. They're not winning that many games. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, we love you, Chauncey, and we appreciate everything you did for our city and our team. And like I said, I went to all those games, man. I went to every game in the 2004 playoff run. So that was really cool. But JB said how proud he was of what this team's become, and he's not going to let up on them. And so, but anyway, speaking of Asar, so we don't get any hype. We never get any mention. Like I said, I look at the little stream thing down on the ticker on the bottom of the ESPN's screen when they Sports Center and stuff, and they'll leave out Pistons, or they won't say much, or they'll say something about even if we beat somebody, they'll say something about somebody on the losing team before they'll mention a Piston. But and we never get on any of the shows. But the uh, pass where Cade against the Timberwolves, where Cade lobbed it off the backboard and Asar dunked it. That got Sports Center top 10 play, number one play of the night, and they put it on NBA TV, NBA Today, and showed it, and that was really cool. Then I saw an interview. I saw the interview actually of LeBron talking. So this is right after Cade talked after the Minnesota game on Saturday, and he talked about Asar. They asked him about Johnny Kane asked him about Asar, and I mentioned it on my last podcast about how and LeBron just reiterated exactly what Cade said. So they asked LeBron. I think just got done playing Houston, and they were talking to him about Amen, and LeBron said Cade got this right. He said when Cade said Asar and Amen, they're different. They're different dudes. They're not like us. And here's LeBron, one of the greatest athletes, and most. I know a lot of people don't like LeBron either, but he's one of the greatest athletes and specimens of in history in any sport. And but he's saying that Amen and Asar are, like Cade said, different than us, and they're just from a different dimension. So that was really cool that they mentioned it. And then today on NBA Today, um, they one of the guys said that Cade was an all-star, and we've seen Bill Simmons has said it. He's an all-star, and Sam Bassini. They're talking about a bunch of guys, and there's always a big debate because there's a lot of guys that are worthy of being all-stars, and I could go on and talk about why I think that Cade is better. Who you'd rather have. I'm going to say this. So Anthony Edwards is a better bat. You could say Anthony Edwards is probably undeniably a better basketball player than Cade Cunningham. Who would you rather want on your team? I'm going to say I love watching Anthony Edwards play, and he can do these highlight dunks where he just jumps right over the basket and hammers it hard. And he put on a show and shot. He's shooting the three. He's the second most made threes to Steph Curry in the NBA this year. But he even admitted that he doesn't care about passing the ball, and he is very entertaining. He says outrageous, crazy, funny stuff all the time. But is that who you want your leader? He plays hard on defense part of the time, And here's Cade, cares about passing, cares about making the right play, gets his teammates involved, so they're going to want to be part of the game and contribute and play hard on defense. That's again, I mentioned Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson knew that if I come down on the break and I dish it to somebody instead of scoring myself and they get a fast break dunk, they're going to go back to the other end and they're going to play tougher on defense. And that's going to contribute to us winning the game. And Cade understands all that, and he just tries to make the right play. He screws up still. His turnovers are way down, but I don't know. I don't know who I'd rather have. I mean, you see guys that are gifted and talented like Jalen Green. He's a freak of nature, but I'll take Cade every day. And Trae Young, he shoots terrible percentages and takes bad shots all the time. And he's people are praising him this year because he's getting a lot more assists, and so he is, trying to share the ball more. But he is a liability on defense, and where Cade is much taller. I had a good friend of mine. His name's Noah, and there was talk when the Pistons had the number one pick, and before they drafted Cade in 2021, they had the number one pick, and they said there was speculation that would Detroit trade Oklahoma City, the number one pick, for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And this is where before he blew up, he was a great player. I'm sure he was averaging 25 or whatever, and he is a little bit older than Cade, but he hadn't really taken off. He hadn't made All NBA or All Star team yet by then, but we could have. I don't know if that was really on the table or not, but we heard that was a rumor, and so Shai's a better basketball player than Cade Cunningham. But who's really better to contribute? And if you can consider our timeline, we got all these younger players, and he's at least 2 years, if not 3 years, older than Cade. He's making way more money than Cade. He is a good passer, but not a great passer that makes everybody better. I mean, it's the reason why quarterbacks get paid way more than everybody in the NBA, because quarterbacks make a big difference. But I think Cade is just such a good leader, and he shares the ball. He makes things happen, and he scores, and he shoots a good percentage, but he's busting his butt on defense, and he has good size, and he gets rebounds and stuff. So anyway, I just thought I'd go on that little rant. It's real interesting to think about you know who's a better player, or who's a better leader, or who would you rather have on your team. But anyway, we'll go through the stats. Hardaway. So Hardaway again. Hardaway was a hero tonight. Hardaway definitely. We don't win this game without Tim Hardaway Jr. He was on fire. 33 minutes, 10 for 15, 6 for 9 on threes. But here's the thing, and don't want to rain on his parade, but I just want to be honest about it. How do you play 33 minutes? Play 33 minutes and get 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 steals, 0 blocks. A good thing he had 0 turnovers, 1 foul, 26 points. You're on the court for 33 minutes. Usually you have the ball in your hands. How do you not accidentally? I don't know. I just don't know. But again, I love him. He's exceeded my expectations. We do not win tonight without him. So good for you. But I'm just saying, when he's off in the next game, and we got other guys that can do other things like Holland and Asar, and then you play him 33 minutes and you play those guys 14 minutes when he's shooting 1 for 7 and not getting any rebounds, assists, or steals, then that's when I question about Tobias. Good solid game tonight, 37 minutes. He plays lots of minutes. Tobias, I'm sure, is second on our team in minutes played, even probably over Ivy. Before Ivy got hurt, I'm sure he is. But he 5 for 8, 2 for 3 on threes, 5 for 5 on free throws. So he was great. 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 17 points. He was +9. And again, Jalen Duren, for all you Duren haters, and he can play better on defense, but 27 minutes, 7 for 11, 6 offensive rebounds. He was battling, and he went after him even when he didn't get them. And he had 12 rebounds in 27 minutes. And most guys that get 12 rebounds, they're playing 30 minutes or more. 4 assists. The bad thing, 3 turnovers. He just tries to be cool and make some passes that he shouldn't attempt. But he had 14 points, and I don't think we win the game without him. Again, Beasley, 29 minutes, 1 for 10, but the one was a big one. But he was open for a lot of them. He wasn't just forcing up a lot of his bad ones, but there was a killer, 2 for 4 on free throws, and 2 of those were right at the end when we could have. Twice he had a chance to move the game to a 4-point game, 2-possession game, and people don't like it, I think, when you use the word choke, but he's a great shooter. He's a phenomenal shooter. So as good as he is, and as much as he practices, and as long as he's been in the league, it still gets in your head. You can't. And when we criticize players, people get mad at them and personally attack them. They want to do good. I don't like it sometimes when I see some guys take selfish, poor shots. When they force up a 3, I've seen Hardaway shoot a 3 and it gets blocked, and that's not a good shot. If you're shooting a 3, if you're a great shooter, you can shoot when you're not open, but you shouldn't be getting your 3 blocked. But anyway, Tech's been gone for 2 games for personal reasons, but he came in tonight and had 21 minutes and 3 for 8, 2 for 5 on threes, 2 for 3 on free throws, 6 rebounds. So he was going after the rebounds, but he had 10 points and a steal. Cade again, 39 minutes, 11 for 23, 4 for 10 on threes. A lot of them were, again, he had twice where the score was close, and once in the first half and once in the second half. And he came in, hit back-to-back threes. Once, it tied it up like 78-78 when he did it the second half. In the first half, we were way behind, and then he made back-to-back threes, and it brought it up to 47-32. So, he did it when we were desperate, and those are big shots. But he was 6 for 6 from the line, 6 rebounds, and 9 assists. Again, he gets guys were missing some shots tonight, so that was tough. So he didn't get quite as many assists. Or guys, he makes a great pass and the guy gets hammered and they don't make the shot because they got fouled, not because they missed it. But anyway, he had 2 steals, 4 turnovers. 4 turnovers is not bad for a guy that's playing. We'd rather him get 3, or none actually. But it's still not bad when you get 4 when you play 39 minutes, take 23 shots, get 9 assists, and that's not too many. So, but he was plus 8, 32 points, and Holland only 15 minutes. How does somebody do more than Holland in 15 minutes? And he gets, I think the refs probably don't like him because he agitates everybody. The refs, he certainly agitates the other team, and he's up in their grill, and he's basically following them all the time. But there's guys that do that with Cade, that they're just defensive specialists who their coach goes in there and tells them to go get out, go after them. But anyway, so Holland plays 15 minutes. He's 3 for 4. Well, 0 for 1. The only shot he missed was a 3. He was 2 for 2 from the line. His free throw looked really good. 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 1 block, 2 turnovers, 5 fouls, and 8 points in 15 minutes. So again, my thing is when some of the guys aren't playing as well, I'd like to see his minutes go up, but he certainly changes the game. And I feel bad. Sasser's, with Ivy out, Sasser's gotten a chance in the last 2 games. He's been not good. He was 15 minutes, 1 for 6, 0 for 3 on threes, and he can shoot it, but he was 2 for 2 from the line, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. 5 assists in 15 minutes? That is great. 1 steal, he got a block. So that not bad. And here we go again. I know there's a lot of people that love Stu and hate Duran, and but when Stu plays 14 minutes only, and he goes 1 for 7 and 0 for 3 on threes, and he did have 6 rebounds, and he's battling. We got guys, we out rebounded him really bad, and that was another besides the free throw discrepancy, we out rebounded them 56 to 43. So, and we had 14 turnovers to their 16 turnovers. So those are other key places where we won the game. But he's down there battling for every offensive rebound, just like Duran is, and Fontecchio was fighting for him, and Holland goes after him. And anyway, he had 5 offensive rebounds, 6 rebounds total. He had 2 blocks, and 2 blocks in only 14 minutes. That's something. But he was minus 11, so that was the worst plus minus on the team. B-ball Paul Reed comes in, doesn't hardly play, but he was 0 for 1. But he's out on the court for just these little minutes, just like Holland. He's plus 12. Excuse me, he's plus 12, and he does that every game. I need to just take time and look it up what his plus minus for the year is. Even Wendell Moore Jr. that hardly played 3 minutes, plus 10. So when those guys come in, we got these starters that don't do a lot of things. Sometimes those other guys can come in off the bench and they just make things happen. But anyway, we play. We got another game Wednesday, and we're gonna see what happens here. We're on a roll, and I'm really excited for our team. You guys should all be happy. At the end of this, I'll talk about. I love the Detroit Lions. I've watched them my whole life. I'm old, and I went through all the years. Every Sunday, I faithfully watched the Lions. Sometimes I'd fall asleep when they would be losing so bad. But anyway, I'm like everybody else. This Jared Goff stuff, I don't quite get. There's something more to it. There's got to be something more to it. Because one thing is, how come they're not chanting Gibbs, man? Gibbs was the hero, last night. And everybody's always, they do that. Jared Goff, when the Pistons are winning, the Pistons are turning around. They're not this sad sack losing team finally. And they're talking about a guy if Jared Goff was in the gym and you wanted to chant his name, that's one thing. I guess I don't mind if they do it. They've done it a couple times when the other team is shooting free throws, but they did it when our team's shooting free throws, and it's a close game, and they're chanting Jared Goff. But why not Jahmyr Gibbs? When he gets 4 touchdowns and they can't, we don't win the game without him. And Anyway, just something I'm curious about. If any of you know the reason, what if there's something more to it behind the meaning of it. I understand it. He got let go. The Rams kind of gave up on him, and he comes here and he finds a home and he plays great. I still wish he could move around in the pocket and escape the pass rush a little bit better, but he is so accurate and he is such an amazing passer, and we were lucky to have him. And I hope we go all the way, win the Super Bowl. It's been a lot of fun this year watching them play, but it's a lot of fun for me watching our Pistons play. So anyway, thank you for listening. Be the reason that somebody feels loved and cared for, and go Pistons.